HES Talks. Today we are going to discuss something that is changing the very definition of learning and living. Our topic today is adaptive intelligence and the reskilling revolution. What should parents know? And let's be honest, we still raise children for the world that no longer exists. Yes, this is the starting point from where our discussion will just unfold, because you see, all parents, they need safety. They want from any education institutions safety in terms of that afterwards, in future, their children will have secure jobs, they will live secure life. But what is security in the world that keeps on changing? So this is a very, I would say, important question we need, everyone, as educators, as parents, we need to ask. Because when parents ask, will my child be ready for the future? The real question should be, will my child be ready for the future that keeps on changing? And this changes dramatically the landscape of our today's discussion, and that's why I would like to right now to introduce a very special guest, a very special person, Snehal Desai, entrepreneur, author of an amazing book, Paradox of Talent, visiting faculty at IIM Ahmedabad, and just a very interesting person. I like to have talks too, and he is for the second time in our studio. Thank you very much for joining.
Yes.
And you are the very person to start talking about that, because your book, a very non-conformist book, where you just question the very foundation of learning. And this question, because you see, many parents still, they come and ask, and they want answers. But when we speak as educators that, you see, the world is changing around, it's not about repeating existing answers. It's about being ready to accept the unknown, to accept the world even where questions are not framed. No one is framing question for you. You need to understand, you need to manage that, I would say, and keep how to say that, remain human while transforming, so that if we just take this perspective, this new reality, how would you just define what is security in this case for the parents? What should be their expectations from education institutions, and how perhaps the whole frame of our syllabus of our education institutions can be changed if we keep in mind this continuous transforming, that kind of unknown space we as a civilization has already entered.
So the biggest problem is with education, and it used to happen because the people who are in a business of education do not understand education. So most of the trustees, most of the founder of the schools, with all due respect to them, they got into this because they never wanted to create students, they never wanted to create a competent people, they wanted to earn a money. So then all of a sudden someone had a land and he created a building, and that building they gave it a name called school, and then they started searching for a people who later on become a teacher, rather than teacher coming to a school, but the people employee becoming a teacher. And then those teachers try to teach the kids who are really very talented, but then they realize that talent is so much that beyond a point, if I give a freedom to them, my classroom's existence would not be there. So now I need to control them. So rather than building those kids, they started doubting them, and they started creating a doubt in their mind by saying, your handwriting is not up to the mark, you do not know really how to talk with the people, your basic manners and etiquettes has been missing. So the kids who went to school to really create himself start losing his confidence. So
start losing themselves.
Yes. So the biggest challenge now is, the more educated you are, the more useless you are. So majority, and I'm teaching across the country, I'm meeting lots of kids, I'm meeting lots of professionals, I'm meeting lots of students in chartered accountant institutes or an MBA colleges. People are competent, but these education systems are really making them redundant. So the first point, we need to understand what is education. So what is education is inside out, where you really know who you are and you try to really explore yourself rather than taking lots of information from out and putting in your body. Second is, I'm a trustee, so I'm a director. So now I'm charging a very heavy fees, 1.5 lakh, 2 lakh rupee. Now I have to justify. Now to justify, I have to ensure more classrooms. I have to ensure more coaching. I have to give more homework. I have to have a very interesting parent-teacher meetings where teachers speak lots of English and parents do not argue, and then teachers successfully blame parents that your kids is not up to the mark and we are trying to make them up to the mark. So they justify their fees. They justify what they've been charging.
Yeah.
And in a process, parents goes back, and then parents goes back and they listen to what teacher has been said. And that is where the another problem happens. Then the third problem is coming. So one is there are people who are not competent are creating schools. Then there is a process which is trying to justify what they are charging. And then there is a very interesting thing which is happening called social media. So one parents have a very solid nuisance into the classroom. So the teacher give a good mark to their kids. So in a process, the kids get A plus. So now that mother pass that A plus to 10 people in a WhatsApp group. So other mothers start harassing their kids by saying he is getting A plus, you are not getting A plus. And again, there is a torture coming in. So when you see his 1 to 12 standard, his life has been hacked by directors, teachers, and parents. Now, then you said the teachers are not up to the mark. Yes, 95% teachers are not up to the mark. There's a very interesting story, Chanakya. I hope you know Chanakya, who is an Indian guru. And I'll convey this in Hindi because he is conveyed in Sanskrit. So he was basically into the palace and the king insulted him, stating कि you don't want भिक्षा, तुम्हें भिक्षा नहीं चाहिए. So he felt bad and he started walking out. So Raja, king again fired him कि भाई क्यों भिक्षा तुम जा रहे हो? You don't need भिक्षा. He didn't utter a word. Third time he insulted him. You don't need that money. You don't need that भिक्षा. Then Chanakya said, राजा याद रख ले, I'm a teacher. मैं एक शिक्षक हूँ और मेरी शिक्षा में वो ताकत है कि मुझे भिक्षा दे सके राजा मैं खुद बना दूँ. And then he is taking a 14-year-old kid, Chandragupta Maurya. He is making him as a king, and from there he is taking a भिक्षा. Now that's the power of teacher. They convert talent out of rawness. It's a reverse now.
So when you were talking about that situation from different angles, I would like to highlight a few points for the audience. So that first of all, you mentioned that perhaps I would say most institutions, they appear, I would say, by chance, by accidents, because not with educational purposes. On the first, I would say, place is the basic foundation, right? So that is just about making business. And this makes a very big difference, because when we speak about education as it is, I would say that kind of abstract what it should give, and we relate to a child and student, and then we just see that it clashes with economical model. Yes. Where schools, they need to exist.
Agree.
And so that the same consequences, same complications come with finding better teachers and all these things. So these are the problems of current situation that really exist. But what I wanted to a little bit direct your that kind of analytical skills with a different dimension. Still, you see, this kind of economically rooted, not human rooted institutions. So they see sooner or later. And as I predict, and not only me as an educator, it's just, you see, spoken by UNESCO and all other, progressive institutions, that we need to reimagine education, because time has already come and we're already in the middle of that. But still many parents even, they look for these kind of economically rooted institutions. And right now AI came on the stage, right? And it reshapes dramatically and with such speed that humanity cannot adapt to. We can't understand what's going on, how AI can change this situation. Can we shift to another, I would say, even economical model? Because now, you see, we need to find some new spaces where this child-rooted, child-centered education can be the only way, the only response for this absolutely I would say, crazily changing world, because we cannot perceive what the change is. And many parents, because right now what happens, I'm just connecting. So AI, the new landscape that AI creates. Now we cannot stop. We cannot close our eyes. Many jobs disappearing, and parents, they can't understand that. That our children right now, they are in the schools and they are just learn things. They are taught in the way how I would say 100 years ago. People were taught. Repeat. This is a problem. Repeatability. In repeatability, we find safety. If a child can repeat the answers, it's good. He's safe, he will get a job. But my dear friends, jobs are disappearing with such speed you even can't imagine. Your children, when they finish the school, they will be without. You see, we are just coming to that point because it was about adaptive intelligence and reskilling revolution. What kind of skills, so that just, joining together all these parts, so that what kind of economical background should be created? So second one, what kind of skills, intelligences we need to foster to meet, to close this gap between reality. And we need to understand there is this gap, dramatic gap between the reality and what's going on in the classes. So that this is my question, and how AI can reshape that, even economical landscape, education landscape.
So the first point is AI is not new. So when I am said AI is not new, AI is prevailing in education since long. But this education system and the society has taken it as a bad AI or a wrong way of learning. Now, how I said what I mean when I said that AI is not new. Artificial intelligence is not going to dramatically change the education system.
Why?
the way you need to learn, the way you need to get an education, that method itself is wrong. So in that education system or the method where you are bringing AI or not bringing AI, it does not make any difference because what you are doing is fundamentally wrong. So there you bring AI, you don't bring AI, it doesn't make any difference. Now how I can correlate this in education. Now, for example, classrooms, repetition, you said. It's not repetition, they are memory.
Yes.
So you are developing memory. Yeah. So you are developing a memory without AI. Now you are going to develop a memory with AI, and that memory does not require in life because you have a hard disk, you have a computer where the memory has been stored. Okay, then why we memorize and we ask them to give an exam? Presume today if I remove memory out of education system, that means I'm asking a kids of 7th standard, 8th standard, 9th standard to go to school with a Google access, laptops, desktops, phone, iPad, and I'll ask a question to them. They have a freedom to use those things and they can write from that particular thing. Now, if I allow this, no one will give a fee to a school. A director cannot justify what they are charging. A teacher cannot prove they are the most intellectual capable creature exist on this earth. So I said memorize. So I am an engineer, I am an MBA, and I think those institutes have all freedom to take my degree back. And I want to honestly confess you, I become an engineer by using AI tool. That AI tool was not exist digitally at that point of time. That AI tool I call is a cheat. So we used to write all our answer on a small cheat. We used to keep it in our pocket. We used to take it out. We used to answer from that and we cleared. Now this is how I become an engineer. This is how I become an MBA. If the invention of non-digital AI called cheat would have been not there, I would have been not engineer, I would have been not MBA. But do you think I am telling you something wrong or I did something wrong? Not at all. It was not required. I never required to remember. So when people are becoming an MBA or people are becoming a chartered accountant or people are becoming a CAS or people are growing up with their life, they are not growing up their life in terms of those subjects. They are clearing those subjects because they are memorizing what they are memorizing. So if I am an MBA and I don't become an MBA, that means I am not failed in MBA subject. I failed in not memorizing or I cleared memorizing, which is not required in my life. Because when you go in your life, in real life, and you go and work for your client or you work for your bosses, the bosses or client is never going to ask you that you remember and you do it. He said, use Google, talk to people, use books, whatever you want to do, deliver. So this memory is not required. So this AI is now going to help you in terms of you're not memorizing and you didn't answer. You ask to AI, AI will give you 10 solutions. So that's a support you. It's not a problem. So people were using AI, non-digital AI called chit. People are using a digital AI called AI. So AI is not going to make drastically thing different. But point is what we require in life. So, okay, what we require is common sense. What we require is presence of mind. What we require an ability to handle something which we have not seen. That means your mind should be sharp enough. You are reading for 12 months. You are having 3 tuitions. You are repeating subject 3 times. Then you are appearing in exam. Then you are getting 95% and you are becoming a ranker. And then people say you are intelligent. That's a disaster. Because no one is going to give you life 12 months. No one is going to give you time to repeat it 3 times. You have to deliver within your client, with your boss within half an hour. So fundamental way of education itself is wrong. So you bring AI, you don't bring AI, it's not going to make any differences. Rather than that, can you create, as you correctly said, child-centric, human-centric education system, where this education system help him in discovering himself who he is, can really sharpen his skill, can develop an ability where he can handle those uncertain situations which he has never seen in life. Yes. And that is what we call an education. So intelligence is not able to do something which you have done and seen in your life. Intelligence, you are able to do something which you have never done, never seen in life. Absolutely. So that intelligence we need to develop.
Yes.
And that is how the education system should come.
This is very important, you see, but what happens, this is a very important, very strong point. I would like, once again, a little bit perhaps reframe differently, because you see, all people, the psychology that was created, I mean, as a humanity, yes, as masses, mass psychology, is that we want to avoid uncertainties. We want to be safe. Yes. We want to create these comfort zones. Who said that it's good to, go out of your comfort zone? I met so many people. I mean, I would say that businessmen, they are looking for comfort zones. No one wants. They want to keep that safe. Everything is known, even if it is absolutely 1, 2, 3, and that's it. This is the whole life you have. No one wants to step out because psychologically we are taught that you need to, give ready-made answers, but you can't face the unknown, uncertainty, because anxiety comes. So we get stressed, we feel very upset because we don't know how to live this life. But the life is all about uncertainties. We should not look for something, you see, certain, something known. The whole,
absolutely.
And that's why now we are both talking, and I would like to just share that we're talking about, actually, I absolutely agree that AI as a tool will not change, will not give any dramatic changes. The most dramatic change will be when we, as parents, I would say, and as educators, can understand that these changes should go into the syllabus, not syllables of answers, but syllabus of unknown. How to manage these uncertainties, how to manage change, transformation, and keep being human, not losing yourself, not getting stressed, so that keeping balanced. This approach in life where you can just, because this is what life is, just tell me where life has stopped. It is just evolving, these changes. If you can't see, or your world is just, you see, reduced to, the size of your bedroom, it doesn't mean that life stopped changing. And when now, actually, if we go global, that scale, we are in such crisis that we need to find a way out. And crisis, why? Because we all sit in our bedrooms without understanding that this change on a global scale is happening because we're afraid, we're depressed, we don't know how to communicate, we don't know how to make dialogue, how to solve, how to face unknown. Why? Because you see, all our education system, and I'm coming to that, our topic, adaptive intelligence, because adaptability is the skill, and I would say a mindset we need to develop. Because that static syllabus, static curriculum, static understanding of education, that like in the shop, you come, you just perceive some ready-made answers, you memorize, and this is what you need from education institution, should just be changed. We need to create that spaces where we can just see life as it is, and we can see ourselves as transforming.
Mm.
How to manage these changes. So adaptability is a very important skill we need to focus. So that if to link to the parents, how do you feel? Is it possible? What will change their mindset?
So the thing with education system, the adaptability is the major thing which comes from a parenting. So while we only blame education system, the another area where I feel we all need to improve is parenting.
Yes, that's why I ask for
Kids,
parents.
kids are very adaptive. So when you see those kids,
Absolutely.
kids have, on early days, they have only two fear. One is the fear of height, and second is fear of sound. So you put that kid in front of a tiger. For you, it's tiger. For kids, it's a different animal. Kids play. Kids is adaptive. Kids go to unknown home, and kids play in their home also. Then a parent came and start instructing him. You should not go and talk to unknown. It doesn't look good. So basically, they are adaptive. We ensure they don't remain adaptive.
Yes.
And when I'm saying we, is a parents, knowingly, unknowingly, and the education system.
Yes.
So if you leave kids on them and just ensure that you basically imbibe the value system and culture in them, that's all. They are adaptive and they will remain adaptive. Pablo Picasso made a beautiful statement long time back. We all were born intelligent, the trick is to remain intelligent. So we all were born adaptive, the trick is to remain adaptive. And the system is ensuring we don't remain adaptive. So we need to ensure they grow the way they grow and we don't intervene there. We imbibe value system, we give them a cultural clarity, that's all, the story ends. Second most critical is when the society is what? So it's a group of people come together. Now one kid is going to a school, another kid is going to a school, and a million parents' kids are going to school, it's a very normal thing. But if you are not sending your kid to a school, you'll sound like a fool, you are abnormal, because you are following. And million people are not following. Day after tomorrow, what you are doing is the millions start following, then you are intelligent. So the whole premises of what is right and what is wrong has been not evolved based on right and wrong. It has been evolved basically on how many people following that. Yeah. And businessmen and marketers are excellent in terms of creating something wrong as a norm. They speak lie in such a louder manner and so many times that it becomes a reality. And that's what the precise story is happening. So let's shut off the schools. Let there be a gathering point. Let this teacher become a friendly acquaintance to the kids and they all discuss and they interact and let they grow. Let parents stop talking about their kids on a WhatsApp. One of the common activities I see in all the schools, when the kids are on a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old, there's an annual function. No, this is not an annual function. This is a showcase, this is a place where a school is trying to justify to their parents, we did something on your